I watched TMZ's documentary about Liam Payne and his passing, so you didn't have to. It is a very hard watch. There's a lot of things that I took so many notes on, so get ready, be prepared, but also take everything with a grain of salt and just know that I'm going to do it as respectful as possible. But before we get into it, hello, my name is Sebastian and I cover all things pop culture. I watched the TMZ documentary, so you don't have to. I know a lot of you guys did not want to watch it in the first place. And I have to say that, you might be onto something. The documentary is very difficult to watch. There is a lot of, there's a lot of demeaning and very negative talk about Liam in the sense of who he was and what we believed Liam to be, and I still believe what I believe about Liam. It did not paint him in a great light, and it was very serving to. It felt like I felt like the people talking, everyone involved in this documentary just kind of seemed like there was such a negative undertone to Liam. But I did, of course, watch it. I wrote down a lot of notes for you guys. I do have to give you a trigger warning. I mean, there is a lot of things that were said that are very difficult to take in. I mean, I tell you, I had to pause a bunch of times throughout the documentary and just sort of catch my breath a little bit because it was not an easy watch. But I wrote it down in a way that I think that it will be easier to say and you still will understand what I was saying. They did not use the words that I'm using, of course. They're using very, very strong words, but I'm trying to kind of give you everything exactly how it is, but just a little bit with more respect, okay? So let's just get into it. There's a lot more updates to come, a lot of things being said after this documentary aired, so make sure you are subscribed so you don't miss anything. Okay, so I'm gonna read it exactly how I wrote it. It says, showing Liam's parents cry at the funeral. That is the opening scene of the documentary, is his parents crying. Brett Watson, he was the alleged witness who saw Liam fall, and he was there for his wedding, and he said that he witnessed it and that a lot of his wedding party actually spoke to Liam. Brett Watson and Roger Norris both say that Liam throughout the day was incredibly pleasant and present and coherent. He did not seem out of it. He was very, very nice. He was talkative. He was, he was very, very, he was very social with everyone, and he was super, super open and just very nice. But towards the afternoon, that's where everything shifted, according to them. He showed signs of intoxication, and that is what Brett Watson is saying, that he did show signs throughout the afternoon of intoxication. He did say that some of his wedding party were able to talk to him, and that Liam apparently said to one of the wedding guests that the reason he is so effed up is because he was in a boy band. Roger Norris said that he, said goodbye 1 hour before he passed, and he seemed playful and happy 1 hour before. Wedding guests don't agree. People in the lobby, prosecutors are saying that that is not the case, that he wasn't coherent, but he saw something on the computer that transformed him. So Brett Watson says that at some point, Liam Payne came down with a bottle of whiskey to the lobby, laid on the couch, opened his laptop, and that is when they believe he saw something or read something that was really upsetting. Fuck this, and he smashed his laptop, apparently. So I wrote down this because, I mean, this Brett Watson guy says that they witnessed everything. Now, are you in the lobby from the morning to the freaking night, 5 o'clock when Liam passed? Like, why are you in the lobby so much, girl? Aren't you there for a wedding? Shouldn't you be sightseeing? Shouldn't you be getting married? Shouldn't you be doing something? Like, that's the part that I was like, girl, Why weren't they in the lobby so much? Why did they get to see and talk and experience everything going on? Like that for me is weird. I don't know about you, but if I go to another country, I'm not in the hotel lobby all day long, but okay. It says here that he yelled, "Fuck this," and the hotel said they wanted him back, and they did not want him back in the lobby and wanted to prevent him from coming down back to the lobby. It says here that he tripped and fell and started twitching and convulsing, and in and out of consciousness. They took him to the elevator 10 minutes before he passed. He was convulsing and foaming in the mouth and took him back to the hotel room. Left him in the room, lost, incoherent, stepping on glass and convulsing. This is from witnesses, especially one who is a masseuse therapist who actually was seen carrying, allegedly, Liam Payne from the lobby to the elevator and left him in the room. He says that this is what he experienced Liam being. Stepping on glass, incoherent, in and out of consciousness. And they left him alone there. And the only reason they left him alone there was because they did not want to cause a scene at the hotel, in the hotel lobby. The witness, Brett Watson, seems overly acting, in my opinion. This is what I wrote down. I said, "I'm not sure if I believe him, but I could be wrong. He said he's basically traumatized," in other words. Watching something like this happen could obviously traumatize you, and it could change the course of your life forever. I absolutely understand that. But there was something in him that I just did not believe. And I absolutely could be wrong. I don't know him. I've never met him. But the way that it was like, the whole documentary was all sort of like, he was included in so many parts, saying that he doesn't know how he's going to get over it. He doesn't even say anything about the family. It's all about him and all about what he witnessed or allegedly witnessed. And it's about his pain. And I would say, like, a normal person, in my opinion, would be like, I obviously witnessed it. I'm going to be traumatized forever. But, at the end of the day, like, it's his family. Like, yes, what I witnessed was horrible. But, I really feel for his family. Not one person said anything about the family. Not one person. So he said, Roger Norris immediately, this is the one thing that I found very interesting. When Roger Norris' interview first started, Roger Norris immediately said that he and Liam were the opposite. And the first thing he said was, Liam drank and did substances. I don't. He said, I've never done a drug in my life. I've never drank in my life. I don't do any of these things. And I thought that was very curious, because when you talk about a friend saying you're so opposite, you could be like, yeah, they were outgoing, I was fun, I'm not, or, the first thing you talk about is substances, and it's sort of like wanting everyone to think like, oh, he's never done anything in his life. Like, he would never provide or do anything, in that realm. So it's sort of like covering his bases, in my opinion. He said that Liam was sober for 12 days in Argentina. From the moment that Liam arrived in Argentina, he was sober for 12 days. Mind you, Jeff Payne, Liam's father, believes that Roger Norris was basically in charge of Liam, okay? Then comes Brian Messy Paz, okay? He is smiling throughout the whole thing. I honestly don't understand. I know some people are weird, facial expressions. I know that when I get stressed out, I sweat up here. And then, sometimes when I'm very, 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 very nervous, I get very, we all have our things. So, part of me is like, okay, maybe he was just very nervous. Maybe he was very scared. So when you get very scared, nervous, maybe you laugh. But like, everything he said was almost always with a smile. Not always, but he did have moments where, he's saying that he is basically being blamed for Liam's passing, and then he's smiling now. I'm like, girl, I don't quite understand that, but okay. It says here that Brian Paz denies selling substances and says he never sold anything. TMZ did see the messages and can confirm that Brian brought snow and did it with Liam, okay? Allegedly, of course. Then he says that Liam wanted to give him his Rolex, which I absolutely believe it's bullshit, but okay. And he denied it. He did not accept it. And all he got was a drawing that Liam made for him. Roger says it was a normal day for Liam, but prosecutors say otherwise. Roger Norris said, you know, I went in the morning to have breakfast with Liam and he seemed tipsy, but that was nothing out of the ordinary. If you fucking know that a friend of yours has been struggling with substances and he is tipsy allegedly in the morning, would you not want to act on that? Would you not want to act on that after you literally created a whole rehab facility in Palm Beach at a friend's house, turned it into a rehab just for Liam, knowing that Liam was not well? And after, the things that I'm going to tell you later on is so like Roger Norris is going down. I'm sorry. It says here that okay, so TMZ does like a whole time like stamps, okay, of Liam's behavior according to them and their investigators. While Roger Norris says that Liam was very productive, he was very happy, he was very, you know, he was good, he was just a little tipsy, that's it. It says prosecutors say otherwise, okay? Okay, so TMZ says Liam was allegedly binge drinking all night. That he got 5 bottles of whiskeys at the night before, ordered another 5 in the morning, that he was completely like going off the handles with the drinking. That 2 SEX workers came in and they alleged to have intercourse with Liam, allegedly, of course. Then allegedly, Liam refused to pay them. And that's when he got enraged and broke his TV and then broke his Rolex, allegedly. Then Roger shows up later on for breakfast to pay. Roger shows up. Yeah, Roger shows up around 4:04 to pay the escorts. So Roger says he had been at the hotel 3 times. Now, I'm going to tell you something right now. Let's say for a second this is all true. Roger was not a friend. He was an enabler. Roger was not a friend. He was someone who wanted Liam, in my opinion, to go all the way down. Now, mind you, you could argue saying that this was not Roger's, responsibility. But just as a person, your ethic, your morals, you don't leave someone alone like that. If that is the truth, if this is the truth, you do not leave someone alone who has consumed over 10 bottles of whiskey, who has, who has allegedly asked for substances all day, okay? And that was so incoherent and so lost. Roger, of course, says, oh, everything is good, everything is normal, he's fine, he's doing great. I think he's just honestly doing that to cover him up. If this is all true, he's just doing this to cover himself up, period. Says here that around 12 Liam, after Roger pays the alleged SCX workers, Liam returns to the lobby, smashes his laptop, and passes out. Roger Norris says he was a great friend to Liam the day he passed. He said Liam seemed tipsy in the morning. That's what I said, but it was nothing out of the ordinary. Prosecutors do believe that Roger Norris is responsible for leaving Liam. They spoke to the alleged substance supplier, but he refused to talk. They went to his house and he refused to talk. He was the one who allegedly gave Liam in the Dove box these substances. So now the part of the passing, okay? After the hotel staff tried to lock him into his room, everyone, including Roger, believes that he was just trying to escape the hotel. And because they did find a hat, Roger says that was very Liam-like, that he would always, before going out to the street, he would always wear a hat, okay? He used to escape hotels. Now, this is something that we did not know. Whether it's true or not, I have no idea. But a month before in Palm Beach, Roger Norris says that Liam had a huge argument with his bodyguard. when his bodyguard was trying to protect him from another episode that he was having. He got locked in his room by the bodyguard, and he actually climbed all the way down with a green hose. And in fact, allegedly, he was bragging about it, and he did not like to be told what to do. Earlier in May, mind you, Roger Norris is saying this. So Roger Norris knows that in the past few months, allegedly Liam has not been doing well, right? But then, hang on. Earlier in May, Roger said that he spoke to Liam's manager. And Liam's manager confirmed that Liam was going through a very hard time, that he nearly OD'd twice, and he had to be resuscitated, and that he was checked into a psychiatric facility for 3 days, allegedly. It is believed that because of the cease and desist his ex-girlfriend Maya sent him, he was having a lot of erratic behavior. They are basically saying that the hotel forcing him into the room was not the right thing to do, and it seems like a kidnapping in sorts. Basically saying that the hotel is to blame because if they knew how allegedly intoxicated he was, leaving him in a room by himself is to set up for a disaster. They should have called in for medical evaluation, and Roger Norris believes Liam said to the hotel that if they lock him in the room, he will escape through the balcony, which he is allegedly known for. Basically, the hotel was just worried about the rest of the guests at the lobby. They did not care about Liam. They just didn't want a scene at the hotel, and that is why they locked him in the room forcefully. Roger Norris mentioned a little bit of the, so Roger Norris said that even if the family went in front of a judge and had, tried him to be like incapacitated to take care of himself, basically like a conservatorship, that Liam was so intelligent that he would have just sobered up just to be able to, get out of whatever the family wanted to do. They never tried, but he said that if that would have happened. Basically, some other, people who spoke in the documentary are saying that they believe Roger is a scapegoat and it was not his job to protect him. It was not his legal job to protect him, but it was more of an ethical thing. If you're a good person, knowing your friend is in danger to himself, you just don't abandon him. Brian says that he believes that the Argentinian authorities are moving so quickly in this case, wanting to find someone to blame and to grab anyone so that they are the ones responsible for Liam's death, because he is a celebrity and they just want to give the family answers. So they will grab whoever it is and not tell the truth because they don't want the bad press in their jurisdiction. It is to calm the public and find someone to pay for his death. Prosecutors are doing whatever they can to give fans and family peace and avoid any bad press. This is the part that really TMZ explains this, okay, and says they're basically saying that the public, us, the fans, are in sort of denial that Liam allegedly had any type of substance issues, whether it's alcohol or drugs. They are also saying that we look for someone to blame, scapegoats like the friend, the waiter, the hotel staff, because it's hard for us to admit that someone we love so much had issues with substances. Roger was not invited to the funeral and says the family can do whatever they want. He will be able to say his goodbye when the time comes. And then he chokes up and he didn't really start to cry, but like you could tell he was about to, or allegedly. Listen, that was basically it. The way that they dramatized it, the way that they got it, if you loved Liam, you really felt that shit. You really, damn, it was very, very tough to watch. Like I said in the beginning, I had to pause it quite a few times. I will say that, I understand substance issues. Like I always mention, my brother had substance issues. It's very hard to believe it. I blamed a lot of people. I blamed friends. I blamed this. And yes, at the end of the day, my brother had a disease. Now, I know that for a fact, but we just don't know the fact about Liam. And that's where I have to say we have to draw the line. We have to be able to understand that there is something here that is not accurate. I don't believe anyone. I understand what they're saying. It does make some sense, but my heart is telling me that there's something bigger here. But what do you all think? Let me know in the comments below. There's a couple more updates. This video is already very long, so I'm going to do another video for later. So make sure you are subscribed. I just have to say, to end the video, it is very sad for me to think that the family has had to see this. It's very, very sad for me to see that that his son will have access to this. It is also very sad for me to think that Liam was, struggling so much, if that is the case. It is very, very depressing because, they did mention that in One Direction, because they were so hounded by fans and they couldn't really go anywhere. There was nowhere for them to go without getting, recognized or yelled at, or, all these things, that they were always often forced to be in the hotel. And Liam did say in the podcast that if you're stuck in a hotel, what else do you do? Well, there's a mini bar, you have a party for one. And that's sort of how everything, began for him. So, whatever the case is, I pray for healing for the family. I pray that they find people that are responsible. I understand that he could have had substance issues. Absolutely understand it. Very believable. It can happen to anyone. But there's something in my heart that tells me that there's a lot more going on that we just don't know. And it's not because I'm in denial. I understand substance issues. My brother passed because of substance issues. So it's not like I'm in denial that Liam could never have any of that. But there's something in me that says there's something more here. And yeah, I hope to get to the bottom of it. I hope that we are able to come and get justice for Liam once and for all. I do think that the documentary is sort of pointing more fingers towards the hotel. But Roger Norris, I think that seeing how messed up Liam allegedly was, that he just left him. I do think that, I definitely do believe that he's going to pay, but there's something in me that says there's a lot more that we just don't know. But I'm doing my research and I think I found something, so stay tuned for that. I love you all. Let me know what you think, and I'll see you on my next video. Mwah.